Today, we basically complete the bracing of the top, carving it and getting it ready so that we can glue it to the sides of the guitar. What I've done is there's a couple of different patterns that are fairly common in the acoustic guitar world for bracing soundboards. There are more than these, but these are probably the most common. And the first one is a straight braced pattern, which means that the braces are just tapered along their length all the way to their ends and tucked into the soundboard or the side linings. And that's one way of doing it. It produces a very strong instrument, one that's well balanced across the tonal range, that kind of deal. There's another type, and this is the type that I've chosen, that is scalloped bracing. And what basically it is carving out sections of the braces in certain strategic areas to help the top move better, to give it a more responsive reaction to the player's touch. It tends to add a bit of bass as well. And so that's the bracing pattern that I've chosen. It should help bring out a bit of the low end in an instrument that, to be honest, this one is not a standard type instrument in every respect. I took basically an orchestra model plan and basically modified it. And what I did, I have about the right depth in the heel section or the tail section, but the depth at the heel, at the head block, is an inch less than most guitars do, like a 1/4 inch less or a 1/2 inch taper. Very few of them, I think, do a full inch. Now, that was a mistake on my part, but it's one that I kept because I think that it will help the guitar be more comfortable for me to play with issues from arthritis and aging and that kind of deal. Now, this is the bottom legs of the X brace. The top legs of the X brace and the upper face brace both will be tucked into the linings of the guitar. I'll notch out the linings in the side of the guitar and tuck those braces into those linings, and that will make them very stable and very strong. But the lower arms of the X braces and the tone bars, everything below the bridge plate, what I'll do is I will feather that till it meets the top of the guitar, all the way down to the top, and short of the linings. In other words, I won't be tucking them in. And what that'll do is it will allow the edges of the soundboard below that X brace to move more. This is just a personal choice of the builder. A lot of builders tuck all the braces, and some of them do it this way. And then, like I said, there are other bracing patterns that people use, and they do other things depending on what they're trying to achieve. But this is the route that I took, once again, because I'm trying to err on the side of more bass. It's not going to be a booming kind of bass anyway, because this is not a dreadnought. It doesn't have the body depth or the air volume that a larger guitar would have. I'm just trying to make sure that the thing is not bright and it's not boxy, but that it has a more even tone, that has the lower frequencies just as prominent as the rest. And like I said, this is new to me. I'm doing the best I can with what I know. And it remains to be seen whether this will have the effect that I'm looking for. But you see, I switched to a smaller chisel, and now I'm feathering that brace down to the soundboard. And I chose the smaller chisel so that there's nothing hanging over the side of the brace to dig into the corners of the chisel. If it was wide, might dig into the soundboard, that kind of deal. So that's why I chose to do this instead. And you see me, I turn the guitar around, or the top around, and start from the other end. If I just tried to continue to go on through with that cut, I wouldn't end up with a scallop brace, but the wood would follow the grain line all the way down to the end of the brace, and I would end up with a very short, stubby little brace all the way through. It's just not what I'm looking to do. So you see that that's why you see me flipping it around like that. And I'll take braces like these that butt up to the X braces down to about a 1/4 inch off the soundboard at the end. And you see it's taking shape, and now what I'm doing is I'm taking little bits off the side of the higher points with the braces. Once again, you know, the height of the braces, that's what determines stiffness, not the thickness or width of them. And so what I'm doing is I'm removing material in certain spots so that I can lighten up the top without really affecting the stiffness of that area. And there's a completed soundboard. And what I'll do now is sign it and date it and put the serial number 001 on the underside of the top. Thank you for watching. Bless you. And I'll talk to you later.